All right, everybody, we're here. We made it. Okay, I'm catching my breath, everybody. I know there's a few on here, but uh, just got home like 3 minutes ago. And we got see, you got David, Steve, and Holly. Holly's kind of like a co-host tonight. She's up on the upper echelon here, guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. But tonight we're gonna talk to Yakpreneurs. That's a new word that I made up this week that you're going to see why here in a few minutes. But I got to tell you that today was a blur. I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank everybody for being out. Man, we got a huge crowd out here already. Oh my gosh.
It's piling up over there, isn't it?
We got comments and everything going. And thanks for being on here, everybody. Well, Holly, you must have quite the following.
I
Okay,
don't know.
somebody said again, Marty is the busiest man I know. You have no idea. Started at 5:45. I start my day in the Word. I do my devotion, and then I work out, and then I taught fourth grade today. Now,
Nice.
if you're almost 70 years old and trying to teach fourth graders, there's a big wide gap there. Anyway,
Bless you for that.
oh my gosh.
No
Hey,
kidding.
Scott, shout out to Scott. Scott, thanks for joining the
Yeah, there you go.
podcast tonight. He's my most prolific customer. He's
Hi.
purchased.
I got a comment for him too. Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, so I taught school. Then I came home and we have an Ironman group at our church. We meet at once a month, and so my wife helped me prepare that I had the meat dish this month, so I had to get that ready. Man, they loved it. It was brisket and roast beef and stuff, and then they were giving a presentation there, and so I had to leave a little early for that. We got to listen to most of it, and now it's your guys' turn.
Oh,
Oh man, here we go. So I have a fourth grader. I couldn't imagine teaching them. Try 30 of them. It was
wow.
It was quite the deal, but it was fun. I had a blast, man. I literally have a blast teaching. So, and I still got feeling tank for tonight here for you guys. Now, with that, we got Holly on here. We're gonna go from the top down since Holly, you didn't know this, but you're being named the co-host for this tonight.
Okay. Sounds exciting.
All right, and if you guys don't know Holly, if you look at Kayak Fish, or is it Kayak Magazine, right? USA Kayak Fishing Magazine.
Yes.
You're featured in there.
Yes, sir.
And so you guys can read about her in there, but we're also going to find out more here too. So, but anyway, Holly, where are you? You live in Tennessee?
I'm in Tennessee, yes.
Yeah. And what do you like? Who is Holly? Tell us, who's Holly?
I'm new to fishing. I have only been fishing about a year and a half. I work in a school. I used to teach second grade for years, but I'm actually just working part time now, and I do the library at our school. So I'm right there with you with the kids, and especially this time of year, they're completely crazy.
Yeah.
And I teach preschool, 2-year-olds, 2K, all the way up to fifth grade. So
Wow.
I see a lot of kids every day, and I definitely, like I said, I feel you. This time of year is crazy at school. So,
Well, I got to tell you a quick story on that, Holly. Do you guys have like the elf on the shelf thing in your school?
yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, you do that in the school?
You got to hear me out on this, man. I was in this classroom today, and then the kids were like, "Hey, the elf is up on that shelf right there." So, dummy me, I go up and I just like move it.
Oh no.
Yeah. I had no idea, guys. I had no idea. I go up and I move this elf, and then I turn the corner, and it falls on the floor. And the entire class, it was like somebody fell off the Empire State Building and died. And
Yes. You
and
don't mess with the elf.
they go, "You don't touch the elf." I go, "Well, before I touched them, you know." Anyway, they went nuts. And one girl, I do fist bumps at the door and stuff when they come back.
Yeah.
This girl would not give me a fist bump the rest of the day. I
No.
mean, she was mad. I mean, she was mad. And anyway, so when they left, I hid him in the Christmas tree in the room inside of it, and they were like, "Where did he go?" I said, "He's in the hospital." And so I said, "He's getting his energy back," and then they found him, and so I had to rehide him. So I hit him again, and then at the end of the day, I put him back where he was originally. So they're gonna have fun with that. Anyway, so there's my elf story. All right.
Yes,
So,
every day starts with stories about the elf from
oh yeah,
every single
yeah,
student that walks
yeah,
through the door.
yeah. So, here we go. Trevor Wagner. Trevor's in schools too, by the way. He says, I would have rather taught fourth grade instead of dealing with the high school girl fight today.
Oh no.
Wow.
I,
Okay.
I
All right.
like
So, Holly,
what else
thanks.
did
And
you do?
you're fishing a tournament this weekend, right?
Yes, I'm fishing at Dale Hollow.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
I got some good spots there if you want them.
Oh boy. Oh well, I've never been there before.
Oh,
We weren't really planning on doing it. It's kind of a last minute decision. We actually booked a place kind of late last night and decided to do it. So we've been
wow.
doing last minute prep and trying to get everything ready to get out the door first thing in the morning.
Okay, let me ask you this. Are you going to go for smallies or largies or both? Or whatever bites?
Whatever bites. I've
Yeah.
only ever caught two smallmouth before,
Oh,
so I'm
Okay, but
definitely not an expert.
one of those smallmouth counts as like 10.
It does. It does. My very first
oh,
smallmouth was a big one, but yeah, I don't have a lot of success catching smallmouth. Mostly because I'm never in the right areas. We don't fish areas with smallmouth very often.
so that Ned rig or that Nico rig, you know.
Yes, that's tied on for sure.
There you go. So anyway, well, thanks, Holly. And we're going to get to David on the. David's from the Wilder side, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And so tell us about David here.
Yeah. So, Marty, I've been having fun with small watercraft for almost all my life, but recently had a chance to just jump into the sport a little bit. And so what we make is it says in the sign right behind me, this is creators of the Freedom Launcher landing gear. So really, it's we're just having fun. Fitting up the people with some easy to use wheels that they just love our product, and it's been just kind of a ride, really, for about the last 3 years since we started selling commercially. And so, yeah, happy to be on the show tonight. Tell you a little bit about what we're doing at Welderside, but that's kind of our shtick. Although I've got a little secret project over here on the workbench, and that'll be maybe a new product from Welderside in a year or two. So it's kind of fun.
Huh. Cool, man. That's great. Okay, we got lots of questions for you too here later, but and then of course we got Steve Billington, Trash Panda Decals, and I've got one of his identifiers. And what I want to say, guys, is that we do the Yak Off Awards. I haven't seen anybody with your products yet, but I'm sure we're going to in the future. What is that?
Yeah, but there's definitely going to come a time where I'm going to look at one of those rigs and be like, "Oh my God, I made that!"
Yeah,
It's just going to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah.
I was going through my own kayak just because it's almost that time of year where I reconfigure everything and I get ready to do new walkthrough videos. And I was walking through my PWR the other day and I was like, I have stuff on my kayak that I don't even offer yet. And I made so much stuff in a year's time that it's like kind of a blur. And sometimes I walk by and I'm like, oh my God, that's mine too.
Yeah. Wow. So, Fish Forage wants to know if you can get a large decal off the side of an off-road truck there, Steve.
I mean, yeah.
You know
The vinyl stuff was on hold for quite a while there because of the 3D print stuff. But we're early spring we're going to move into getting more into the decals and stuff. I think we're going to go ahead and invest in an actual like high quality vinyl or not vinyl sticker printer where you can do full color like any kind of sticker anybody wants.
Nice.
And not just do the basic vinyl stuff. It's elite, man. Every time I think about buying some new piece of equipment, I'm like, man, that's a rabbit hole. Do I want to go down that? And then I end up going down it and I'm happy about it. So I think stickers we're gonna push towards that in the spring, I think.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I know there's a lot like myself. I also have a product that I make, and what I have found is you can get caught up in it so much that you're like, man, I wanted to go fishing today.
That has happened a few times.
Yeah.
I have taught myself the lesson real quick that it is okay to put a dent in some orders and then just set it down and go fish. Yeah. Because if you don't commit to the reason you're in it in the first place, you'll lose sight of it.
Yeah. So tell us about Trash Panda. What's it? What is this? What, pandas that throw stuff in the trash or what?
You want to know how the company got its name?
Not yet, but I just want to know what you do. Because that's one of my questions. But let's find out what you do first.
So I make primarily tournament identifiers. It's kind of funny that it's called Trash Panda decals because these are never what it was meant to be about.
Yeah.
But I make tournament decals. We do some kayak accessories now. I've got some of it in here, so we can go over some of that if you want.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. And by the way, you guys, he lives where Mark Twain lived, right? Don't you?
Yeah, I'm right next to Hannibal.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah, I lived here for like 3 years before I figured out that's why everything was named after Mark Twain. I'm like oblivious to stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So it's like Mark Twain High. Mark Twain Lake is literally right down the road from me.
Right.
And I was here for like 2 years before I was like, man, they really like Mark Twain here. And I was just driving through Hannibal one day, and it was like Boyhood Home of Samuel Clemens or whatever. And I was like, huh.
Well, how long is it going to be before they have Billington Avenue and like Trash Panda Alley, stuff like that?
You know, it's all Billington Avenue if you don't look at the sign.
Okay. All right. So anyway, we're going to get into this here, and I appreciate we have a lot of people here watching. You guys must have told your friends or something because I don't have very many friends. So Holly, that's great job. Great job.
Hey, Marty, you got to do some confessions tomorrow morning after you just said that.
That I don't have any friends.
Yeah, you don't have very many friends. I think that's a little stretch. Hey, by the way, I'm now into Disney videos because I'm Wilder Sid.
There you go, Wilder Sid. All right. Yeah, I got to tell you honestly, I have a lot of friends when I find a new good spot.
Oh, there you go. That's right. Yeah,
there's a lot of friends.
Stringer. It's like I'll tell you where I got this. Right.
Yeah. When I was at Possum Kingdom, and I found
Marty's like, I don't have any friends. I just know literally every single person with a fishing pole in like the entire country.
It feels like that sometimes. My pastor came up to you one time and he goes, "Hey Marty, I got to tell you something. I think he was in California, and he goes, I was walking. The guy asked me where I was from, and I told him, and he said, "Do you know Kayakjak?" And he goes, "Are you kidding me?" And he's 1,500 miles away. He goes, "Here's the deal. There are 7 billion people in the world, and you know 5 billion of them." And I'm like, I don't know if I know that many, but there's a few. So anyway, that was kind of funny that he said that, and he said that in church.
That is funny.
So anyway, let's do this. So Holly, you feel free to chime in too, Holly, about questions, and we're going to talk for your stuff too here. So about the women's side, because Steve brought you on here, right, Steve, to talk fishing too, right?
I knew you'd find her real interesting.
Oh yeah, and it just adds the spice, and we're going to get your point of view on it. Okay. And then by the way, there's people asking who let Steve in.
Is that Andrew?
Andrew, yeah. So
I didn't even need to look.
I got to ask, first of all, David, and I know a little bit about David's history, but a lot of you don't. I'm just going to tell you that if he took the ACT, he would score a 36.
Is that really good or really bad?
36.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Marty.
It's the high school testing scores that they give. A 36 is a perfect score.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us, I'm a solid 2.
Steve, this will explain it. Where did you go to college, David?
School of Mines, Golden, Colorado.
There you go. That answers everything right there.
Yeah, but I was a mining engineer, so I just put dynamite in holes and.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
right.
All right. So anyway, what's the inspiration to start your business, David? What was the inspiration?
Yeah, so my dad was an entrepreneur, and I participated in the business up in northern Minnesota. So he started a resort, turned a barn into a shower house and 100 campsites. So I grew up on a lake, beautiful lake, Leech Lake, but it's a beautiful lake.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And 640 miles of shoreline. It's just a fantastic fishing lake. So I grew up, and had families come every year, and I got to be friends with, hundreds of kids because they were in their happy place and I was there too. So it was a fun time and great memories. Starting school was always a bummer because it's like I just lost the magical summer up there. But I grew up on the lake. I grew up on the water. I got busy raising a family. And after putting 4 kids through college, and I wasn't house poor, Marty. I was horse poor, right? So we had a house and 40 acres and horses and goats and chickens and all sorts of things. I got busy just with the family, and I didn't have a lot of time for myself doing my own hobbies. So after the last 2 kids were on their way out of college and kind of launched, I decided to buy a Jeep Willys, and I got a canoe, And I wanted to get out on the water, and my wife's a birder, so we wanted to get out on the Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I had a lot of equipment I wanted to get to the shore, and I started the business wanting to be involved in the small watercraft because my heart was in it. I just love quiet. I love getting close to the water, and but it was like 240 pounds of rig, and it's like, how do I get this to the water? And I'm looking for an opportunity, and it's like there's a place for an easy to use set of wheels to take me from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. And so that's how the Freedom Launcher was really born. Took a couple of generations to get to the point I could make something that, was relatively easy to manufacture and could hold up to a lot of weight. And in 21, kind of decided to go for it, buy some production prototyping shops. I've kind of built the first one in-house. Mm-hmm. And once I figured out the design, then started working with suppliers and bringing on customers. And one of the customers here is Scott Beatty from New York. And Scott's a very special customer to me because he is a very busy doctor taking care of people all day. And, and he'd owned a Freedom Launcher for 4 months and he had installed it. So I said, hey, Scott, can I come out and videotape you installing it? We'll kind of get the job done. And he says, sure, come on out. So we went out and installed it, and I got a videoing the Hobie PA14. It's a big boat. It's an important one of the products that we sell to. And after the night of installing it, we'd had a couple drinks, and Scott treated me, by the way, to dinners and my hotel. I mean, he just paid for my stay just to come and help him get motivated and have time, create that space just to do the job because, it's just life gets busy, right?
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to ICAST this year. And he says, David, I'm coming to ICAST too. He didn't ask permission. He just said he was coming, and he did. Wow. So he was down there for several days, and he was a better salesman down there at ICAST than I was. I mean, he just literally is so proficient at anything he chooses to do, including fly fishing out of a boat or a kayak. And he's a muskie fisherman. I mean, he goes for the big stuff. So he's just a very interesting individual. And I meet people like Scott on this adventure of starting this little business. And so we make, Freedom Launcher landing gear. I guess our claim to fame is that it's, one, easy to use. So you can raise or lower your wheels while you're comfortably seated on the kayak. Mm-hmm. You can, the wheels are outboard, so it's very stable. It's really almost impossible to tip it.
Yeah,
it can handle up to 240 pounds with our heavy duty version, and it does great in saltwater. And so we tick a lot of boxes. We've made lots and lots of customers happy across 34 states. We've exported to Switzerland and Australia, a lot to Canada. So it's we're still growing. I'm looking forward to growing more, but we're on a pretty good footing right now, and just looking forward to what the next 2026 brings to Wilderside and how many more friends we can meet, Marty. I'm not up to 5 billion, but I'd be happy with 5,000.
What's interesting, and by the way, thanks for sharing that, because I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but about solving a problem, But here's the thing, though, is that you're talking about you're growing, and Steve's growing, and Holly's just getting into this. I'm going to tell you guys something. I've been in this long enough that every company that I've dealt with, I'm dealing with somebody new now. The owner sold it, mm-hmm. or they retired. Like for instance, the Easy Rec Rack, which is another thing, how you transport your kayak. That's on my truck. I called him a couple weeks ago, and I said, Ira, can I get some wheels and maybe this part of this rack? He goes, oh, you didn't know? He goes, I retired. I'm like, oh man, and he's trying to sell. What do you call it? The license for the product.
Right.
And he's had some deals with. Anyway, long story short, he has some extra wheels, but he's no longer doing it. And he was great. I could, refer people to him and so forth. So, but you have to reestablish all these relationships with people, mm-hmm. with products that you represent or that you work with. And like you guys, I want to help you grow and be one of the best in your field or whatever product you have. Just like Steve, we're going to get Steve now, and Steve's inspiration, because Steve has also solved a problem in kayak fishing. Let's hear about it, Steve. What have you done to solve a kayak fishing problem?
I just got to ask real quick. was he fly fishing for muskie? Or was he just a fly fisherman that also targets muskie? Because the way that came across, I wrote it down. Because if he's catching muskie on fly, I want to see it.
Well, his daughter makes muskie flies out of bucktail that are about 12 inches long. So they're both, he and his daughter, like avid fisher people.
Okay.
And you know, well, they'll go boating, but I think, Scott, you're on. Go ahead and answer Steve's question.
Well, get this. His name, Steve. You got to hear this. There's no doubt he's a big time fly guy. Listen to his name, at ADK Muskie Foulon Fly 63.
There's no mistaking what he's about.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He said, okay. Yeah. We could go down a whole rabbit hole on that.
She's gone on fishing tournaments like overseas, like it's around like Jakarta, Indonesia, or something like that. And she's so Scott's a physician and she's a animal doc, a veterinarian. So they both are just, you know, they talk about doing 36 on the ACT. Marty, those that, you know, Scott and his daughter, they're in that category of people.
They don't even have to take it.
They know the answers without even knowing the questions. Right? They get it right.
I'm gonna look up Scott later. I want to see muskie on a fly.
That's awesome.
So my whole thing. So Trash Panda Decals started not even so much as a business. I was making vinyl for my kayaks and stuff on my own, and I've just got this like creative thing. I am not an artist or anything, but I've got this need to be creative even when I'm not. Yeah. So I was just kind of planning on doing it for friends. And then I decided I wanted one of the aluminum identifiers. And it started out, honestly, it's just like one of the plain Jane ones. Yeah. But so I wanted one, and there was only one company I could find doing it. And it's nothing against them. I didn't like what they were doing, and I saw an opportunity to kind of do it different. Mm-hmm. So I started out making just a super basic one. Oh, I got to go that way. Making just a super basic one. Yeah. And then Chad Davidson was like, hey, could you make me one that was like twice as big? And that sounded kind of nutty. I'm like, nobody's going to want that. And then because it's so big. And then we ended up with the double up, which is 8x4. And then I started using it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty great. And then more people wanted it. And I'm like, okay, well, Chad wasn't crazy. Mm-hmm. And that was all she wrote. It just snowballed from there. Yeah. Every product that I have started out as me trying to solve a problem that I had. Yeah. It was never about, can I do this and then sell it to people? It was just, I'm out in a kayak, and you and I come from the world of DIY when there was no product to go buy off a shelf. And I've just been solving problems, and people are like, hey, where'd you get that? And became a company.
Oh man. I mean, before you did that, I mean, I had them on lanyards, and I had like cellophane and tape, and I put packing tape on them. And then I'm at the Bassmaster, and I'm fishing, and you get two identifiers. I lost them both, you know, in the water. Like they flew off of my kayak into the water, and I'm like, that's it, man. And then you got to call in, use a plain one, whatever, and put your deal on there. Anyway, Steve, that you have solved, I know for me personally, it has been like unbelievable what it's done, you know, as far as that goes. Now,
it takes the effort away from something that you end up not thinking about something you used to think about a lot.
Yeah. And okay, I'm going to give you three things right now, guys. Number one is, David, I used to have to lift my kayak up and let the cart fall out. Mm-hmm. And then when I got back, I'd lift it back up. Well, then I figured out if I lay it on its side, it's a lot easier. But then I'd scratch up all my decals on my kayak and scrape everything up. And then I have to slide it into the water. So that's one thing that I've ordered one, and should be here January sometime. Yep. And so that's one problem. And then Steve, I don't have to panic about where'd my identifier go. And I can erase with fingernail polish or bug spray that has stuff in it or whatever, you know. Anyway, so that's another problem. And then I had that broken twig net that floats because all my other nets would sink. So all you guys have, that's like, he's an entrepreneur too.
I have got to get one of those nets. I am so jealous about the net.
Ollie, do you have one?
No, I want one. I'm jealous.
Ollie, I'm asking Paul.
What net? I didn't hear what you said.
Broken twig.
No, I don't.
Oh, it's like playing hockey with fish. I mean, except you win every time. You win every time. I got called for high netting in a tournament once already. Anyway, that's a joke. Anyway, Holly.
somebody. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, they're metal tags. Yeah.
Yeah, they're they're aluminum.
Yeah.
It's,
Aluminum. And guys, I don't have mine's out in my truck on the North 40 here, so I don't have it with me. But I have what I would call a dumpster lid, the dumpster lid style, the big one.
Dumpster lids right here. There we go.
How big it? Yeah, man. That sucker.
And you know what I didn't bring on last time? I am the first company, and to the best of my knowledge, the only company still that made the catch style ID holder for the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Because I do not like that personally. And I kept breaking the one that snaps onto the side that they sell.
Well, here's how good they are, Steve. I was in a tournament recently where the tournament director calls me and says, "Hey, Marty, I just DQ'd all your fish." I go, "What?" He goes, "You don't have the correct identifier on your board." And I said, I looked at it and I go, "You might want to look more closely." Now, remember, I had like 18 identifiers on there. I feel you gave me what, like, I don't know, 12 squares or whatever on mine to fill in.
I think so. But there's like 6 on mine, I think.
Yeah. Well, I have a bunch, but I had the codes written like in between the sponsor ads or everywhere else on there because.
Oh yeah, so you were just filling them in anywhere you could.
Yeah, I was filling everywhere, and guess what? It was on there, and he had to requalify my fish
because he just missed it.
Yeah, he missed it. So
there's anyway, a lot going on my identifier.
Yeah, the same here. There's a lot of noise out there. So Holly, we're getting you here. I'm sorry to keep you waiting here, but
no, you're fine.
You've been doing this a year and a half, you said?
Yes, sir.
In a kayak or just fishing like you just started fishing a year and a half ago?
Yes.
Wow.
And I started just bank fishing a little bit.
Yeah.
My husband started fishing all the time, and I absolutely couldn't stand it because he was always gone.
Yeah.
And so I would try to go out with him bank fishing. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like the heat. I don't like the cold. I don't like the bugs. I really didn't like anything.
Okay.
But I kept going. I kept going, and eventually, fast forward, here I am. Somewhere along the line, I fell in love with it.
Now, hey, Diane, I want you to listen to this gal.
Yeah. Wives take notice. If your husband fishes too much, you go with him. This is the solution.
Yeah, mine likes to read books. She'll go on a kayak. She'll read a book though when she's out there. But anyway, that's pretty cool, Holly. So your husband, does he kayak fish?
My niece and nephew moved here about a year and a half ago, and he was really into fishing. So my husband kind of took it up to kind of connect with him a little bit. And they would be gone all the time. My husband had a little boat at the time, kind of a piece of junk that he'd go out in, and they'd bank fish, but no kayaks for a while. Once I started bank fishing, he told me he wanted to buy a fishing kayak. And I thought it was the most ridiculous thing. He gets into lots of different hobbies, and then we have all the hobbies, and I'm like, that's just one more thing to collect dust. And then he shows me, oh, hey, look, I found these matching kayaks. It's a set of 2. Yeah. We should buy both.
Yeah.
It really, he was selling me on it as, oh, I could go out with him, even though I hated fishing and the outdoors. But he really wanted it so, he could take a friend with him. So we bought them. And still, I would go out with him and fish. I had one pole that I would take along with me, and I made a few casts, but I didn't fish much. I really was just out there kind of floating around and enjoying the sunset and just kind of hanging out. And I didn't mind that part, as long as the weather was nice. But I don't know, somewhere along the way, something changed. And there's no moment that things changed for me. Maybe it was catching enough fish that I'm very competitive. So once I started catching fish, I think I just needed to catch more or bigger. And the competition side of me kind of took over. And I would say I'm more obsessed than my husband is now. So
wow.
Now I'm the one that kind of takes the lead on the fishing stuff.
I love it. That's awesome. there's a lot of competitive women in this activity,
There
sport
are.
activity.
Yes.
And I know, I mean, her name comes up a lot, Christine Fisher. She worked for me at one time as a guide, so I know her very well.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and I can tell you how competitive she is. And so I see that in a lot of gals. By the way, she wasn't the first woman in Nebraska that was like kayak fishing. We had a gal named Carrie Brown. Her nickname was Wilderness Woman, and she won 4 straight Angler of the Year titles in Nebraska.
Wow.
All the guys, and there's some tough dudes here that fish. She won 4 in a row. So
That's awesome.
there's a lot of respect for women in Nebraska. So
That's awesome.
for fishing. Anyway, so anyway, there's somebody says like your wife too. So
he's right.
yeah. So Holly, accessory wise, you're listening to these guys and you're going, oh, that sounds interesting. Do you put a lot of stuff on your kayak, or you just like keep it simple? What do you do?
I like to say I keep it simple because I think I'm more simple than a lot of people, but I have plenty.
Okay.
But accessory wise, I think being a girl, things are a little different for me. I want everything to be color coordinated. I want everything to be cute.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
of course,
fun fact:
Steve,
she had the first colored identifier ever.
Is
I
that
did.
right?
Her husband wanted one that was pink, and I said, "Well, I've never done one that wasn't white," and we figured it out, and a whole new product line came of that.
And I absolutely love it. Everything has to be. Basically, I have turquoise, orange, and pink on my kayak, and everything is color coordinated, and it all matches. So companies that have different options for women that are cute. Obviously, we still want functional. A lot of times the cute things for women are absolute garbage, and that's frustrating. You go to buy something and it just because it's cute and it's never going to be quality. But finding things that are quality that you can add to your kayak, that's awesome. And
You ever find Joe stealing your pink stuff?
No, he's not into pink.
Are your fishing rods pink?
Nope. No, they're not. Sadly, haven't found any good pink ones yet.
You need to get a custom rod that has like the pink thread work on it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, Joe was actually building rods for a little while, and he did build me one that has turquoise and pink. So I guess it has a little bit of my colors on it. He did it, to match. So
I mean, the fish might like that. You throw some pink line out there.
Hey, they love all the pink baits. I throw a lot of pink, and
they do.
They love the pink.
Yeah, morning. I call it morning dawn.
Yes, morning dawn.
That's interesting. So, do you have your identifier from Steve? You have a Trash Panda decal?
I sure do. I'm on my second one. My first one.
There we go.
Yep, that's my color right there.
I knew I had a pink MRE here somewhere.
Yep. I just call it pink because everybody sees me throwing morning dawn and they're like, oh, Holly's throwing pink again. But I will tell you that's what I caught that giant smallmouth on. So
nice. The classy kayaker says, "I know a guy for a pink quality rod." There you go.
There you go.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, okay. I have 2 Trash Panda decal identifiers, so they're my favorite.
She had the first colored one, and she has the first gradient one.
I do, yes.
Wow.
I like to push the limits.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Do you guys know Old Lady Kayak Angler?
I don't know her. We are friends on Facebook. I do follow her.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
Facebook friends is basically old friends.
Yeah, every single fish she brings in is like 8 to 10 pounds, man.
Mm-hmm.
In Florida. So you guys take a look at her video. She does a good job. I mean,
she's very good at making the videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, most of us old people, and I can call her old because she calls herself old, but us old people have a hard time with like how to do all that stuff. But she does a good job. So let me ask you guys this. So when you started your company, a lot of guys have to go out and get supporters or investors and loans. It sounds like, Steve, I know you started yours as a hobby, and David, I think from the last podcast yours was kind of like a hobby as well in a way, but I'm not sure. Did you guys just kind of start doing this gradually, and then now all of a sudden become a full-fledged, full-time thing with you? You can answer that.
Steve, go ahead.
Mine was three major pieces of equipment that don't cost a ton. Personal, like, time investment was more mine than like anything financial. There wasn't a ton of overhead to start. So no, mine was more just, I knew I wanted to do something, and I actually honestly started buying equipment before I knew what I was doing. I had never tested the concept before I jumped in. I was just like, I think that this is how I can get this done. And I'm kind of a full send kind of person anyway. I was fully prepared to throw everything in the trash if it didn't work and be like, okay, that was a stupid idea, and move on.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, what about you, David?
Yeah, so Marty, like I say, I kind of had an itch to try something on my own, and it really varied. All sorts of different ideas were going through my head, so I started the company without even really a product that I knew would go for, and I was working full time. I was working for a Fortune 100 company.
Yeah.
And, my parents were getting older. I was kind of helping plan hospice care for my mom. I mean, it just had everything was going, and COVID hit, working remotely from home and all that good stuff. Right. But in 21, I had an idea on a piece of paper, and I decided, you know what, I have an opportunity to leave my job and jump into a new space. And so, while kind of everything else in the background was moving along, I kicked the Jeep Willys out of the garage. I brought in some prototyping equipment, a little CNC. I was doing aluminum machining in my garage, along with a lot of other stuff, drill press, all sorts of equipment, right? And nice radial arm saw I used to cut aluminum and do angles and miters and whatnot. And so, so for 6 months, I was taking, my prototype out to the river on a wobbly bank, loading it up to about 240 pounds and failing it until I couldn't fail it anymore. And I thought to myself, I think I've got something,
Wow.
And, I listened to what was, I saw what was out on the market, and I thought, I really want something that's easy to use. Like, I've always wanted to be an airplane pilot. I mean, my cousin flew in the Army. He took me up when I was probably 6 years old. I got behind a Cessna 152, got to fly it around a little bit, and I thought, this is cool. And I never did do that, by the way. I got into horses and all the other hobbies, right?
Yeah.
But I always thought to myself, I want retractable landing gear that really lives up to its name, and it's just like click, click, right? And so anyway, that was sort of the impetus. But I'll be honest, I shouldn't say this because I may have customers or future customers on the line, but I thought to myself, I really wanted to do something with propulsion, and I'm working on something with propulsion right now. And I think that is cool, right? I want to be able to maneuver my kayak in ways that nobody else knows how to can't do right now. But the getting it from point A to point B was my very first problem. I mean, I used lawnmower wheels and, plywood and a 2x4 as my very first kayak cart, right? And I clamped it with quick clamps onto the back of the gunnel, back of the transom, just to get it from point A to point B. And I go, there's got to be a better way, right? And interestingly enough, Marty, my very first Hobie PA12 customer, Will Akers, he was using a scupper cart like you know what I'm talking about. And he was tipping at 90 degrees to put the scupper cart in and out. And he's doing it with one arm while you're slipping the scupper cart in, and he injured his shoulder just doing that maneuver.
Oh, yeah. I hurt my back. Yeah.
6 times a week, because he fished 3 times a week. He's retired. And it's like, when he called, he saw my YouTube video, and he goes, David, I want a freedom launcher. It's like, I'm taking my wife to a Valentine's dinner. It's like, Will, okay, I got it. We're gonna take care of you, but I gotta go. He wanted to talk for 30 minutes about how excited he was that he said, I've been looking for you for 4 years. I said, Will, I've only been around for 1 year. So
well, and even as much as it hurts yourself, just the damage you can do to scuppers on kayaks, and some are more sensitive than others.
Right. That is, Steve, I think you bring up a good point. That's the other thing is is you read about how landing gear in particular, and even scupper carts, can damage the hull of your kayak, and that was definitely something that I thought about as an my engineering background. How do we help alleviate that as much as possible?
Yeah.
And we have really so far, we've flew up to 40 different kayaks. We've done thousands of launches and a lot of big boats. I mean, some Old Town AP 136s with the motor in the back and the motor in the middle, and PA 14s with an NK 300 on the back, loaded up to 225 pounds. People going over like oyster, low tide, going over like the oyster shoals where they cracked the wheel. It got so bad that they cracked one of these plastic wheels because the ground is so hard, but it didn't damage the kayak, and it didn't damage really anything structurally that is designed by Wilderside. So it's been really an exciting thing to hear. I mean, my customers are using it a lot. I guess, like you said, be careful when you turn your hobby into a business, because you don't get a chance to enjoy it as much as you'd like to. I've not been out on the water probably more than 6 times this year.
Yeah, see, I never, ever, ever want Trash Panda decals to replace my day job. Ever.
Yeah.
Like, if it starts growing that big, I will put the brakes on and be like, yeah, no. Like, I do it because, and I wanted to mention real quick, because I'll forget, and then I have a question for you, David. Charlie asked about 3D printing. So this doesn't get brought up a lot on podcasts just because I never think about it, but Charlie made me think of it. Every single 3D product I sell, and even some 3D printed stuff that I don't sell but have designed, is on trashpandadecals.com for free. You can download the STL files if you have a 3D printer or a buddy with one. Go print it yourself. You don't need to buy it from me. So he said he's big into 3D printing. You can go download any of my stuff right now. It's there for you.
Go, guys.
David,
instant franchise right there.
Yeah. Well, and I got that idea. I work with Source Crate, Joshua in Tennessee, and he, Source Crate, it's open source, and you can download a lot of his 3D printed stuff for free. And part of that was why I reached out to him before I bought my first Source Crate. I love open source, and this was never started to like make a ton of money off of people. I'm a kayak angler like everybody else, so if they've got a 3D printer, I want to be able to go print it. David, when you started, because I imagine you probably use CAD these days, or at least have. Did you know how to use CAD when you started?
So, Steve, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that.
It's a leading question.
So I designed my wedding invitation decades ago in AutoCAD, and I didn't touch it after that. So actually jumping into the business, I didn't have a design background. I was doing engineering work. I was doing project management work. I was doing thinking stuff, but honestly, I designed a curriculum for new engineers at Caterpillar, but I never took the course. I didn't learn the CAD 101, 201. So I'm using Fusion 360 from Autodesk.
Me too.
Design platform. And I had a junky kind of CAD program that was really old school, 80s sort of design. Before that, it was so frustrating. And I tell you what, Fusion 360, it makes you look smart when you're not, right? You just get an idea.
100%. You
can make it. And so actually, it's just FYI, Steve, I have my very first 3D printer on order right now.
Wow. When I ordered my first 3D printer is when I went and installed Fusion 360. I had never seen it before.
Yeah. Okay.
And the guys in the tactical fishing chat have been invaluable in like all of the products that I've done, but they were great because they were my sounding board for like a month while I learned how to use Fusion 360, but learned how to use it on a very old computer that I think tried to kill itself 20 times in the last like 6 months. So the MacBook is brand new, and now I can rotate objects without hearing stuff grind and pop and things smoking.
That is funny. So I'm on a little laptop, and I launched the business on this little laptop. It's a Dell Inspiron 7706, and actually Fusion 360. It was actually doing videos, Marty. I don't know, because it just took forever to render videos, and so I decided I was going to get a desktop for that purpose, because YouTube is how people find out about me for the most part. This is like my second podcast I've ever been on.
So I was the first too.
Yeah, you were the first and the second, right? So in terms of line, right?
DaVinci Resolve also tried to kill that computer a couple of times.
Oh, sure, yeah.
What 3D printer did you order?
Pressa, Joe Pressa
Okay.
from Czech. I didn't even do a lot of like my CNC. I'm not a maximizer. I'm a satisficer. If you know the difference between those two, it's like I don't research things to death. I get when you're making a million decisions as an entrepreneur, you just got to get it good enough to satisfy the problem at hand. And
absolutely.
so
Sometimes
this
you
one
just
is
gotta send them.
it's the I don't know. It's the 3D one that goes a little taller, so it's a big one. So I didn't buy a cheapy one. I didn't want China. I didn't want the rendering software. My ideas going over there. So I'm kind of a little bit paranoid about that. And so they and it it's a rebuildable unit, right? Kind of like my CNC. I've had to replace the linear bearings once. I just want a unit I can work on a little bit, right? And hopefully it'll be around for a while. And
tweak and have all kinds of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's enclosed. I'm gonna probably try to do nylon. I've actually got so I manufacture my plastic parts, um, some in house. Now the higher volume stuff I send out, but it's all CNC, right? I don't have any 3D printed parts yet right now in production, so I'm kind of old school in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're doing 3D printing has issues with some strength in certain dimensions, and it's getting better. But I just wanted to kind of have something that was bulletproof and repeatable, and so that's where it started.
PETG has come a long way, especially the carbon fiber. I print everything in PETG.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay. I just bought in fact, literally today.
You guys are speaking a language I've never heard of.
I just got a box of Spectrum from Poland.
Nice.
That's that, and I got ASA, and maybe we'll go offline, but I kind of want to know, maybe what your research said about PETG versus ASA, and why you went that direction. But I don't know.
Yeah, and we'll link up. I'll be a good sounding board for you when 3D printing makes you want to quit.
If any colleges are watching this tonight, they're going to go, okay, guys, we got to have a new major for our students here. You see what I mean? I'm serious. What you guys are talking about is something you have created jobs that didn't exist 2-3 years ago.
Right. Marty, I'm glad you said that, because I thought to myself, what did it take to get to the point that, somebody who isn't really even a design engineer could imagine a product and create literally. I was able to build a product, break it, design it new, and build the new version in 2 or 3 days. And every weekend I was going out to the river and fixing it, making it better until it's just really hard to do that in the old school.
Okay. I got to say,
I can't even do my own math. Google does my math for me.
Exactly.
Guys, I got like a 7 on my ACT, and it's because I spelled my name right when I was in high school. So on the test, I got to tell you though, I am also a Yakpreneur, I think, in a way.
You are, for sure.
Well, there's a lot of DIYs, but the evolution of the Nico head, rig, the old ones just didn't satisfy, and so I was the same like you, always designing, going out, testing it, and then seeing it, and then getting it made, and then I come up with one that really works, and lo and behold, on the way to Pennsylvania, on the way back, I stopped by Cast Industries. It's in Illinois, I think it's Springfield, Illinois, and they can mass produce stuff. Well, I got so much volume, I could not keep up, and I wanted to keep fishing, so I outsource a lot of it now. They have a mold. I can make 200 and something an hour. They can mold and have 1,500 an hour, 24/7.
Isn't that crazy?
But I still have to paint the ones that I want to, paint and so forth. But it did solve a problem for me. I wanted more of a natural look. I wanted one that was weighted perfectly for what I was doing and so forth. But just like you guys, it took a lot of tinkering. And same with you, Holly. When you get into this even more, you're going to go, you know what? I got to do something different to this lure that's going to make it more attractive for that big gal down there that isn't biting. You see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're doing. And by the way, you are froze up, Holly. You're sitting there smiling, but you're not moving.
Am I there?
Yeah, no,
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, the audio is
You're fine. Your voice is fine, but you're doing like a smile, but you're not moving.
Okay. Well, I don't know what's wrong.
I think Marty, that maybe it's just an internet speed thing.
It could be. It could be.
I'm going to show her later. I'm getting a
Okay.
picture of that.
Now I want to make another comment. Now I can see her. I want to make another comment though, guys. When I first started this, we didn't have identifiers in our tournaments. We had a list of fish that you went out and you colored a dot with a pencil. And you had a baggie. And then the other thing was I didn't need a cart because whenever I went to the lake where I lived, I just dropped it right there in the shore and went in the water. Right. Well, as time went on and we get to bigger lakes and we're traveling and the only way to get to them is through a boat ramp, all of a sudden you need a way to get it in the water from the parking lot to the ramp. And that's where you come in, David. And then Steve, where we started writing on our hands. We started writing on little pieces of paper. And then it progressed to cards. And then it was like the cards blew off the kayak, like I said. And now Steve has come up and solved the problem that way. So you guys are incredible innovators in what you've done in making life better for kayak anglers. And eventually, that cart might be used for something else. But my question is this, is that through that evolution of these products, will you and can you adapt to what happens in the future? And Collie, you're in on this too, because how will you adapt to new models of kayaks as we progress? Like I will tell you that right now, I'm talking a lot here, but like Joshua Booth going back to the grassroots type kayak fishing. Paddle only, paddle only. I've got one too. I started one last year. Do you think there's going to be two divisions here, and will your products survive the evolution of kayak fishing? There you go.
Who wants to
go? You want to go first?
Okay. Well, Marty, definitely, I think Paul Glass's, Submission and Forager, with a Vibe kayak and the little Bixby on the back, it's lightweight. I mean, it's easy to move. And I think, what's really beautiful is that there are so many different choices out there for anglers to kind of do the sport the way they love. Like if you're going to go out on Lake Erie, with 6-foot rollers, you want a substantial kayak that can handle. Mm-hmm. And whereas if you're in a skinny body of water and you just need it to be light, although, out on the ocean in a Vibe kayak that's kind of narrow, mm-hmm. you better be able to balance pretty well, right? Marty, you don't stand up when you cast, right? You're a sit down guy.
There's a reason for that though.
Yeah, right.
Because when I first started kayak fishing, if you tried to stand up, you were going to be in the water.
Well,
exactly. I had a hole literally this big, as big as my waist, that I slid into.
Exactly.
My feet would fall asleep. So I sat down and fished for 18 years. You know as well as I do, just like standing up in a boat, there's different angles standing up than there is sitting down. And when you've done something motor-wise, locomotor, or not locomotor, but your brain and your hand and your casting, those angles are all different standing up. I've tried it. I cannot stand up and fish. I've got to sit down.
Yeah, sure. And so I think, I'm just really happy to serve the market that's there. Right. Yeah, okay. I don't know. It might be, 1,000 a year. It might be 10,000 a year. It might be 500. I don't know, Yeah. And I guess it's just one of those things where I just had a need to be creative. I had a need to kind of own something and call it my own.
Yeah.
And solve problems. I mean, I'm an engineer. I love to solve problems. And the thing about it is, along the way, I'm meeting customers and they are just excited. And it's just like they're friends. You just made a friend for life because they were looking for you. Even a smaller kayak, like a Titan 10.5, it's maybe 80, 90 pounds, but it's still a double hull kayak has got twice the plastic of, almost, right, of a sit-in, right? So instead of 40 pounds, you're starting with almost 80 pounds plus drive and gear and everything. So it's literally 100 pounds. Now, how many people want to carry 100 pounds? You got to have some sort of wheels typically with something like that.
I get you.
Mm-hmm. I think, honestly, it's kind of funny. Today I got a call from somebody trying to, get me to start selling overseas in Europe, because they said there's demand over there. I don't know. I think it's
for sure
a lot of legs in this market. And again, if you're going to stand up, you're going to be like an XTR, a little mini bass boat, right? And
Right. Yeah.
and I've got a customer. I don't know if I said this on the last podcast, Marty, but he's up on the big lake in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Lake Winnipeg?
I don't know.
My very first customer who has, it's the Lake Winnie up there. I mean, it's a huge lake. It's like bigger than Lake Superior, I think.
Wow.
He's up there on the that Wilderness, the big the Tactical Pro 128.
Mm-hmm.
He's my first customer with the wheels up there, and I said, "How's it going?" He said, "Congratulations, great product." That was his comment.
And I do want to say that, Roy, thank you, Roy. You think a former PE teacher remember muscle memory, but due to the fact that I had fourth graders all morning, I think my brain is shot. So thank you for clarifying that. There's one Charlie. Oh, you know he has no Charlie, don't you? You know Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
His kayak with nothing weighs 35 pounds more than he does.
Oh, my kayak with nothing on it weighs 35 pounds more than me.
Yeah.
To be fair, he doesn't weigh a lot.
Yeah,
he can't
if he
possibly
turns
weigh a lot.
sideways, you can't see him. He's a hammer. He can fish. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
That kid. You're gonna hear about him for a long time.
Yeah, Charlie Sanders is the next Russ Snyder's as far as I'm concerned.
100%.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for clarifying that. And then Steve, I know you wanted to answer that too, with the adaptation part of it.
My answer is going to sound arrogant, but I promise it's not intended to. It's just the way that I am. My products, specifically the identifiers, are not only going to last with where it is and where it goes. I've got something I'm working on. I've been working on it for a minute. It's going to take a while to finish it. I'm going to change the way that we do this identifier thing.
Okay.
I'm not going to survive it. I'm going to redefine it. It's going to be cool.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you guys, there is stuff in the works out there that could replace identifiers.
There's some stuff out there.
I don't know if there's stuff in the work that can replace launching, other than working out and getting stronger, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, so you can carry your kayak down the ramp. I don't think there's too many people are going to do that.
You can make a remote control one,
like a drone with 4 rotors. It just
it just lands it for you. Yeah.
You make a drone that launches the kayak. I want a prototype.
There we go. We'll work on this together, Steve. Right?
What happens when it disconnects from my phone and just keeps going? I guess when it runs out of battery, it'll float when it lands.
Here's a great question I think that guys might want to know about. There's a lot of guys on here tonight that actually make products or work with something in kayak fishing where they are actually marketing things. So have you guys had to market, or is it more word of mouth? And what marketing strategies have you applied if you are marketing?
I don't hardly have to market at all.
Okay.
To be honest, the second they started hitting leaderboards, they were marketing themselves.
Yeah. Now, here's the deal, Steve. I still want you at the expo.
Oh, yeah. I am going to do my best. I have to with the fiance, and her work schedule is going to level out in about 2 weeks, and we're going to talk about it.
We need you there, man.
I'm going to do my best.
Because if you go, then Uncle Trey goes.
Oh God! He doesn't have to ride in the same car, does he?
No, but we got to have, because I did tell the guys tonight that I have a guy coming that has a testimony. You guys will have your jaw hanging on the ground when he gets done. Because that story is that good. It will help a lot of us, and it'll help guys with dads that have sons, that might need direction and so forth. So my hope is that both you guys can make it, because that'd be great.
I fully expect to be there.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, David, what about you for marketing?
Yeah. So my marketing strategy, I started with the trade show. Sold my first unit up at Canoacopia, Madison, Wisconsin. And it's more of a paddler show, but it was where I met Greg, my first customer. Yeah. He bought 2 of them right off the bat. It was really cool. Yeah. But really, I worked with the Small Business Development Center in Illinois, and they gave me some training on. I was just social media was not my thing, right? I just admitted it. I was like a total noob with respect to how to use that tool. So took some training from Small Business Development Center. This is how you do a social media strategy, and really began to get more disciplined on my YouTube channel. And that's how my next 2023 customers found me was on YouTube. And for the most part, that's probably been how most customers find about it. It's a new product, right? It's a new company.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new product. I don't have big names like Christine. Now I will, once Marty gets out there, then he's going to be kind of like the first big name, I think, that has this. But I do have some beginner sort of social media guys that have the product. Marty, I sent you an email about from Solomon. I have a customer whose name is Solomon Wise. Take that for all of you folks that love Proverbs. But and he installed on a Hobie PA12, and he kayaks fish, and he is a YouTuber and a social and a Facebooker, and I mean that's kind of his life. He's retired military, and fishing probably literally saved him from a very deep dark hole he was in. So he has a real interesting story. He's very transparent and open about it. So he loves it. He's been fishing off the Florida coast with the Freedom Launcher for about 12 months, and he uses social media, and that's kind of how he gets out there. So we've kind of connected, and we kind of poke at each other's posts a little bit. I went to ICAST. Obviously, that was a big show, really, really big show, and got to meet a lot of people in the industry. And I got to meet a few other people making new gear, right? So yeah, I don't know, Marty, if you've had anybody the Steady Stick. Remember yeah. Okay. I'm drawing a blank on that gentleman's name.
Is that the one on the XTR?
He does a lot of it for the. It might be on the XTR. I think he started with Old Town. Steve, there's a lot of guys that would connect to the pedal pod.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm listening.
Yep. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think I saw him do one for an XTR.
Yep. No. So
it sounds familiar.
Yeah, but
going to ICAST would be cool.
It was a big step, a big jump for us. It was a real stretch, but I had volunteer show workers, right, to help me tell the story and talk about the product, and so yeah, it's been quite a journey. I don't have a formula. Like, I'm still trying to.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does.
I'm just trying to claw my way kind of out of the box, so to speak, and just. I don't really want to get any bigger than it needs to be. I just, every customer I want to be very happy with the product and very satisfied. And
it's insanely humbling when anglers take something you've built and then they go out and they're selling it just because they like it.
Yeah.
Like, it's unreal that something I made just because, and something you made just because there was a need and you thought you could do it.
Right.
And now there's people like Holly out there, she does great videos about my stuff. Holly made one the other day. It's better than anything I've ever filmed for my own stuff.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? I mean, I was so blessed, you'd speak about that. But the best video I had was from my second customer. It's still like my most popular YouTube video. Is he and his wife just taking is Will. We showed that video, Marty, on the other podcast, and it just was kind of like a perfect sort of like, hey, this is how I do it. And
I watched that like 3 times since then because I wanted to see exactly how it worked and stuff.
Yeah, Will was laid up. He quit fishing for like 4 months after his injury until he installed the Freedom Launcher, right? And he was just so happy about it, right?
Now I'm going to say this: you guys both have the minds to create products from problems. And I'll be honest with you, I fish so. Holly, you may know this. I fish so much that I don't have time to like sit down and draw. I just don't take that time, and I should.
Right.
But I did develop a product one time that is now out there that I probably could have done pretty well. But look at this. Do you see? Have you seen this yet, Steve?
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask David what he sees on there. That's a product that this is 2004.
Yeah, so Marty, I remember you telling me about this, and I thought it was brilliant. Right?
Ollie, can you see what product it is?
Bring it a little closer to the camera. I'm kind of snorkeling around.
Up there on the front by the hat.
There's a snorkel on the front. Do you see that, Holly?
Oh, I can't tell what it is. No, but I do see something up there. Okay.
That's a snorkel.
Okay.
That is the world's first external transducer arm on a kayak.
Okay.
Yep.
In 2004, I guarantee you nobody had one.
Right.
Could I have developed something from that? Probably, but guess what? I just spent too much time fishing. But that snorkel held my transducer in place.
Yep.
That's awesome.
You know, and so I look at what you guys have done and the challenges you had in developing it. Sure, a guy could do that. And there's guys out there right now that have ideas, and every day something is coming out new. I mean,
Right.
you know, and we can over accessorize as well. We know that.
Oh yeah.
There's enough stuff out there you could pile it on your kayak. But and especially in the Yak House, have you guys seen where a lot of these guys have very clean, simple setups, but they've got really good stuff on there,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I
And
say it every time, Rommel. It's so much
Romel's
simpler
is
than it looks
that,
on the surface. It's
that's
all
nice.
just
Yeah,
clean
yeah,
intent. That kayak is perfection.
yeah. And the two guys this week, you know, Paul Glass and Chad Gerlich, if you saw their kayaks up close, very, very simple. There's not a lot of cords going over the place and all that, you know, and they're not going to have to worry about stuff catching on fire, things like that. And of course, Trevor too. Trevor was on last night. A lot of these kayaks are very clean, you know, and so simple's better, but there are still good accessories you can put on like your guys's that can make your trip go a lot better. Would you say?
I can't wait to film the new walkthrough of my PWR and just be like, that's Trash Panda decals, that's Trash Panda decals, that's Trash Panda decals.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Roy, over accessorize never. Yeah, right. So
The,
I
the
get it.
second one of my kayaks becomes over accessorized, I will start ripping stuff off. I can't stand
Yeah.
it. I'm not a purist, but
Yeah.
I'm not a take everything with you either.
I'm back and forth because there was a time when I said I would never pedal, and there was a time when I said I never get a motor. You know, but
There's a time where I said I'd never get a motor, and I've got two of them now.
same here. I got two. In fact, my first motor I bought, get this, guys, I bought a PA14 and a motor, the big Torpedo. Never used them. They sat in my garage for a year. And I said, nope, no motor. And I sold them. And the next year I bought a motor again for my Outback.
You know who else has a motor that's just been sitting around, never been used?
Who's that?
Trey. He won a Torpedo at the Big Bass 250 last year.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He's never used this.
That's incredible. Yeah.
So, Mark, you mentioned something about fires. Do you have any particular fire stories that you can share?
Not me, but I know. I mean, I've wondered if guys have taken a barbecue out on a kayak and caught a fire. I don't know. You have, Steve?
So I've never caught it on fire, but I have taken barbecues in my kayak.
Yeah.
I was making coffee in it just the other day.
But yeah, what's happening?
I had my maca pot going in between my legs.
That's awesome. I have a propane heater on my kayak.
Oh, nice.
It sticks in the glass, the cup holder. It has a cup on it that you stick in there, and it's right where my hands are.
I used to, but now with that float suit, I'm plenty warm.
I have one too. I'm sorry, guys. I got a cough. Okay, well, David, what was your question again? I missed it.
No, it was just a question about the fires on kayak. I have a story I won't share tonight.
Well,
but
anyway, what I was going to say there are some guys wiring up their stuff and not using the proper gauge wire for their.
My God, yeah, especially motors.
And there have been several fires. Well, Trevor last night showed us a actual portable fire extinguisher you can take out in your kayak called Element.
Right.
And I have a feeling that's going
to. Is it the stick?
Yeah, that stick. Yeah, Roy.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
Yeah, Roy said lithium batteries worry me. Yeah, and it's happening. It's happening a lot of places right now. Holly, do you have a motor on your kayak?
Yes. Well, I have an Old Town, and yes, I have the autopilot. So.
Yeah. And who wired it?
It's just the Old Town autopilot. So it's
the
motor
so it's already wired. Yeah, wired up. Okay, yeah, gotcha. So yeah. Get this, guys using speaker wires for their batteries.
You know what? You know what I find more offensive than that is companies like I think it was Old Town. I apologize to them if it wasn't them. Building Bluetooth.
He cut out.
Steve, we lost your video or your audio.
He is muted. He's muted.
No, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
yeah.
It wouldn't unmute me and Mac, man. We're not getting along. No, companies are installing speakers into kayaks now. Like it's some kind of pontoon boat that I want to listen to because homie wants his music on in the cove while I'm trying to fish. Put the AirPods in. I'm dead set against kayaks with speakers on them.
Well, here's the thing, though, guy. And Holly, maybe you're kind of, you're kind of still getting into this, right? I mean, you're learning stuff at a very rapid pace, right?
Oh, yes.
And the learning curve is starting to flatten out a little bit for you, but you still are like, man, I didn't know about this. I didn't know about that. I am going to tell you, you bet. So what I'm saying though is the guy that's wearing ear pods out there, or AirPods, whatever you want to call them, or listen, have a stereo going. There are little things that happen on that water that give away what those fish are doing, and they're missing all that.
Absolutely.
I miss it every time. I have one AirPod in almost all the time.
I mean, the flicker of one shad, and that's 1 5-pounder you did not see.
Absolutely. For me, I like the peace and quiet. I don't want to hear music. I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything. When my phone rings, I'm on it maybe 5 seconds, just telling that I'm busy and I'm fishing. The peace and quiet is what I love most, I think, about being out there. But there's so much that if you're not paying attention to your surroundings, you're missing a lot.
Now, here's the thing, though, guys. If you want entertainment on a lake, you go to your camper, you cook a bag of popcorn in your microwave, and you go sit out on a ramp and watch husbands and wives launch boat. That's the best entertainment in the world.
Yes.
There's nothing funnier than one of the glitter boat guys losing his mind at the boat ramp.
Yeah, there you go.
Or Holly, I'll tell you, I've seen wives like practically beat up their husbands on the ramp because they didn't listen to them, you know. Back and forth.
If I'm gonna skunk all day, I want to listen to Crime Junkie while I do it.
Yeah, it was, or the person's backing up a jet ski trailer. Those are fun too.
Those are interesting.
Yeah. And anyway, so there's a lot of entertainment at the lake, and when you go by docks as well, there's plenty of entertainment there sometimes too. Just so you know, not going to go any further than that. But anyway, a lot of wiring problems could be fixed by a single Google search about wire gauge. That's a high school kid telling us that.
Well, it's mostly true, but let's be honest. There's a lot of people making YouTube videos and Reddit posts, and on the kayakers making posts where they answer questions with advice, and I'm like, oh dear Lord, don't listen to that one.
Yeah. You got it. Okay. So let me ask you guys this. Is there any big next steps for your guys' stuff?
Yep. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm playing that one real close to the vest.
It is embargoed. Trash Panda's embargoed. The lid will stay on the dumpster.
Lid's on the dumpster for that one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I mean, I can take that, Marty, and things I can make public. It's so as we grow. And first of all, I wanted to build a bulletproof product, right? So I just a little bit. I work for Caterpillar Tractor Company for decades, and so we were known for, you might be a John Deere fan, Caterpillar fan, Komatsu, whatever it might be, but known for durability, right? And so I've had customers talk about this is the kind of the magic that helps the Freedom Launcher do its thing, and it's a custom extruded piece of aluminum that engages the locking pin, makes the magic happen. And I mean, it is heavy duty. It's like 1/4-inch aluminum in spots, right? And so my customer, David Deere from Mississippi, says, Freedom Launcher, it's built like a tank. Well, that isn't a great connotation because you want to float when you're on the water. And so it does weigh about 20 pounds with the wheels and everything else. And that's maybe 5 pounds more than the competition. But with that weight, that extra weight, you have the peace of mind that you're not going to damage the hull, hopefully, right? No, nobody's done that yet. And you can handle 240 pounds. And so we put the weight where it needed to be to solve the problem that I thought needed to be solved. And the next steps would be to try to take some cost out, maybe using the 3D printing in certain places where sometimes I have to change a bit on the CNC 4 times to make a part, right? It's just a lot of fiddling. And if I could make that part and just kind of start it at 10 o'clock at night and 6 in the morning, I've got, 50 little tiny parts that are made to perfection. That will save some time. I can take some cost out, make some more models for kayaks right now that we're not serving, or canoes. I mean, I just released a canoe version. I started with a canoe and then I started selling kayak stuff. I got back to, creating a production version for my canoe. So that's kind of fun. Like I said, I'm working on some propulsion ideas. That won't be ready for production, but it's kind of that's my happy place, is just making something new. Steve, you sound like you just like to invent. You just like to, what happens if I do this, right? And I'm kind of one of those people. I mean, I'll be honest. I did start a fire out on the water because I thought to myself, well, brush motor, if 12 volts is good, what happens when I put 24 volts in it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I tried that once.
Okay, good. So, and you know what? Everything was good except they didn't even use marine wiring when they put that motor together. I'm just like, geez, I'm putting better wire on mine than oops.
Where'd he go?
Huh?
You there?
Offline. I got kicked off.
So I don't see Holly, but I see the rest of you.
Okay.
Oh, I see Holly. So, can you hear me, Marty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Things just moved around on the screen a little bit, but
Yeah.
anyway. So, but and the motor failed at the junction. Like they just had like a little twisty, wire nut to put the wires up to the motor to the control head. It was like a piss poor design. Anyway, so it's like it would have handled it if they would have done the wiring properly. But anyway,
I know a guy who may or may not have used wire nuts in his XI3 last year to get by, and then forgot he did it, and may or may not have melted them this season.
Oh, okay, so I resemble that. But you know what? With just as an aside, this is the techie speaking. Like, when you put a motor that's designed to go on a bass boat on a kayak, it typically doesn't get always loaded as heavily as it could be, right? So you really want to bring it up to rated amps. Just saying. So you can do that by adjusting the voltage to get the full output of your motor, right? And I've been doing that on my 86-pound thrust motor for 2 or 3 years on my canoe. It's like I'll bring it up to 50 amps if I want to go fast. If I want to go 6 miles an hour with 2 people and 600 pounds of, and it's like that's cool. I can do that.
Holly, do you launch your kayaks from a trailer, or do you guys use a cart?
We have a trailer.
Okay,
so this guy is Solomon. I mentioned Solomon Wise. That was Solomon launching.
I posted his comment, but it didn't come up for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I'll just read it to you guys. I'll read it to you. It says, it's the best kayak product on the market. Not only does it function flawlessly, it takes a beating and doesn't budge. Not to mention it makes your kayak look cool and stand out and keeps your feet dry. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just put that your website up there so people can see that for a little bit here. And I was going to put Steve's up, so you guys can go to what's that website address, because I don't have it on there.
Yeah, it's not on here. Wilderside.life for the
wilderside.life.
Yep,
So you guys can go there, and I will put that in the YouTube video when it goes up. The one that's permanent, that'll go on there, and then same with Steve's as well. And then Holly, if you will send me if you have some social media stuff, I will put your links on there as well.
Okay.
On there, because there's some gals that may want to, not just gals but guys too, but when
she started her YouTube video or her YouTube channel, the stats on that thing went crazy.
Really?
It was 1 million views. How quick did it hit 1 million?
Wow.
My very first video that I posted was actually me. I was holding like an 8-pound fish, and I'm fumbling around, and my identifier, my identifier that Steve made, came off my catch board and almost fell in the water. And my husband's over here watching me, telling me, he said, "Hey, dog, don't let that." Don't hold the fish over the water, I think is what he said. And so my very first video has my Trash Panda Decals identifier trying to go for a swim, and that hit 1 million views pretty quickly.
Wow.
It's been downhill since, but to have your first video do extremely well,
yeah, congratulations.
it's a struggle.
Downhill from 1 million is fine.
Well, yeah.
I'd take 100,000 any day, right?
Wow.
But most of the comments were mostly saying that I have too much stuff.
But
and
you
I
know
like
what?
to think that I don't have a lot of stuff on my kayak, but there were a lot of haters that told me that I just had too much stuff. So
all those people that think you have too much stuff have never held an 8-pound fish.
No.
Well, I agree though, Holly. Negative criticism is just as good as positive criticism as far as getting the word out there. I made a layup video many years ago, and it's sitting at 750,000 views or something like that. But anyway, there was people that said, "Oh, that's not the correct way to do this." By the way, I was a coach and a teacher at the same time,
Yeah.
and the kid that's in the video is my own son, and they're like, he's this and he's that, and he'll never be any. And I went back a few years later. I said, well, he's a 2-time state champion, and they had the longest winning streak in the country. So I guess case is closed.
Awesome.
Every time somebody posts something negative, I'm like, thanks for the analytics.
Yeah. So I thank them for their criticism. I says, you know what, it works for him.
Yeah.
So, and it's like fishing, Holly. You might not fish the same way somebody else does, but you're going to be successful because you have confidence in it, and that's the deal. Is like I had coaches come into the gym and try to change my son's shot when he was younger. Well, he's not doing it, and I was like, you know what, leave him alone, because repetition is your best coach.
Absolutely.
Repetition is your best coach, and that's the same with me standing up in a kayak. It's not going to happen. For a second or two, but when you've done something so long a certain way and you have success with it, it's difficult to change that.
Yeah.
And like for instance, I consider Wyatt Hammond one of the best kayak anglers in the world, and he's a jig guy. He'll tell you he's a jig guy. He'll throw the chatterbait, but the guy can flat out throw a jig. If he threw a Nico rig, the same guy, same spots, it may not be the same because of the confidence level. See what I mean? Or me with a jig, which I like throwing, but I have confidence in a certain lure, which is an eco rig. A lot of guys have tried it, said it doesn't work for me. Well, that's because you got to have confidence in it, right? And so, Holly, you have your confidence base. Steve, you have yours, and David, you have confidence in your landing gear and how you've developed it. And the idea is that when people use your products, they gain confidence in them, and they're going to tell others about them. That's why you guys are so successful at what you do. That's a lot of saying in one sentence. Okay. So anyway, I tried to show your products there a little bit, guys, on the websites, and I have one last question. I know because we're getting close to an hour and a half, but guys, Bass After Dark goes 3 hours. I just want you to know that.
I never look at the timer. I can talk.
I don't either. I just love doing this, man. It's like having a conversation and people get to join in. It kind of reminds me, and I don't know, David, if you're at that age too. When I was a kid, down here at Table Rock, about 20 miles from here, we had a party line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so four families could be on the same line, and so I had fun. Man, I had fun with that when I was 17. Let me tell you.
Listen, Marty, we had 3 resorts on a party line, so
oh man,
as well as private individuals. So there was like 5 or 6 families on a party line. So
when I could hear Grandma down the mile down the road breathing in the foam, man, did I have fun with that? And then you hear a click.
Yeah, right. Isn't that funny? Oh man, brings back
Yeah,
memories.
okay.
He's not wrong.
9.
He's not wrong.
ADA muskie in about 6 minutes. Yes, you're going to hear my wife call down at 9 o'clock sharp every time. Anyway, I have one question. What advice would you have for aspiring entrepreneurs who want to build something of their own? What advice would you give them?
Just go do it.
Okay.
I was going to say,
you got to start.
Steve, but just go do it. Don't be afraid of failing. You're never going to get it right. Usually you don't get it right the first time. Usually it takes a couple iterations, and you're going to learn a lot along the way. I would say a couple things for me. Score.org is a great organization and resource. I think they're still maybe partly funded, but anyway, it offers people that want advice in how to start a business. You can get marketing advice. I've got a marketing mentor gives me free advice. Just basically, they've been in business, they've done certain things.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like a sounding board. It's been really valuable. And then the Small Business Development Center. Mm-hmm. You kind of almost have to act like you don't need anybody, but then lean into them anyway, because they're going to help you along the way. And I probably should have, met Steve 2 years ago, because he sounds like an interesting person.
What's great about this is just like the Yakov Awards. We have guys that connect, and then they end up doing something great together because of that. So this could be that that thing there. And by the way, well, first of all, Holly, I don't know what happened. She's offline. If she can get back on, or she left, or she had to leave, I don't know. But get this, guys. But the relationships that have been developed through all of this are incredible. What's happened, through the podcast, through kayak fishing, and the people we meet, and things like that. Across the country. I mean, a lot of my friends that I have today are people that I met kayak fishing. Somewhere in the country, and it's been a lot of fun. There she is. She's back. Welcome back, Holly. We just finished talking. But no, anyway, but good points, David and Steve both. Just go do it. Find mentors, people that have been through it, successes or failures. Because the thing is you learn from your failures. You know that, and your mistakes.
You really
know that as well. But so what excites you guys most about the future of your business?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so
you go first.
Well, the thing that surprised me, I guess, and you hear about like marketing as a people business, and and the kayak fishing industry, and just business in general. But I guess the surprise is meeting customers and them just being excited about your product and letting you know about it, right? And And Holly, I don't know about you, but as you're making YouTube videos, like I get customers, and they've called me and they said, "Is this David?" "Yeah, I'm David. Yeah, I'm a founder of Wilder Side." He goes, I feel like I know you. I've watched 50 of your videos, It's like, I already feel like you're my friend, So it's kind of funny, and I don't think about that, right? You just head down, you're doing the work, you're trying to make a great product. You don't always sit in the seat of your customers looking at you, right? Because you're doing your thing, they're doing their thing. But it's just a journey. I mean, I'll be honest. Sometimes you have lows, right? You just mentally get in a fog. You just don't know why you're doing what you're doing. And I've been reading a lot of Winston Churchill and kind of what he went through in persevering through World War II. And you just have to sort of be willing to go through low points, but just take another step. Keep moving towards your goal.
Yeah.
Because probably success is closer than you realize when you're down, and it's probably not quite as rosy as you really think it is when you're on the top of the mountain, so to speak. And it's somewhere in between, but just as long as you're getting good signals. Like if you're getting good signals that people like what you're doing, it's kind of new, it's creative. Steve, you've created something new. You're changing the industry. It's really cool. I applaud you. It's great. And Holly jumping in and having 1 million views. It's like, this is so cool. I would have never met you, Marty, unless you would have brought us all together tonight. So I want to thank you for that.
And thank you. You're wet. And then Holly, I want to tell you right now that there's a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of noise out there. Would you agree? Would you agree?
Yes.
I want to be honest and straightforward with you guys, and I tell this people every day. I am not about Kayakjak bringing everything to him. It's about bringing the kayak fishing community together and us learning from each other. That's what I've been about since the beginning, and I want you guys to know that. And I know you guys are that way too. You want to make the kayak fishing scene better. Holly, you're representing a group within a group. Steve, you are
Trash Panda decals.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But you're representing, you're setting an example for other women. And your story is great because you didn't want to go out with your husband, just like a lot of wives don't. I'm serious. But you said, you know what? I'm going to try this. And so you're going to help break the ice for a lot of women that didn't have the, I don't know if it's courage or if it's just going out, because a lot of times when I guide people and I put them in, they get in the kayak for the first time, they're shaking so bad they don't want to get it, they don't want to do it. But it's a lot of it's their muscle. The muscles just aren't ready for it yet. Their bodies are. But once they get out there, they're fine. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
A
lot of people are a lot of women especially are definitely intimidated by getting out there and jumping into kayak fishing and tournaments especially. But you just got to do it and get started, and you fall in love.
Yeah. Now I'm going to ask you this: did you do high school sports?
No, I am not athletic.
Really? But you're so competitive.
I am, but I am not athletic. I don't have those skills.
I see. Okay. But you're competitive, though.
I am, yes, extremely.
Okay. So is this a great activity for you to go out and be competitive?
Yes.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Now, I do want to say, too, that you guys were talking about being so close to success. You don't know how close you are. Holly, have you been in a tournament yet where you haven't had a bite for 6 hours, 7 hours?
Always. I'm not that person.
Same.
I'm not the person that goes out, these people that, I had my limit within the first 30 minutes. That's never been me. I usually have my limit in the last 30 minutes, maybe.
There you go. That's what I wanted to make my point of. And it's happened to us all. But a lot of tournaments are won in the last few minutes.
Yeah. I fished a tournament recently, and in the last 10 minutes, I caught a 23.5-inch bass under a dock, and that's what won the tournament.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. But that's what we want to tell people is not to give up on your dream, not to give up when you're in a tournament. Just keep going. If the chance is there, just keep going. Unless it's dangerous for you or safety or whatever, something like that. But man, you guys have been great here. What questions do you guys have?
I kind of got one for Holly. So, Kayla Carlock kind of said on a podcast the other night. So, as a woman who was not in the sport, I'm paraphrasing what she said, but she said that it was intimidating to enter the tournaments and stuff. But she had kind of phrased it in a way that she wasn't sure the guys would want her there, or that like she was interrupting, or that she didn't belong. Did you feel any of that, or did you already have the comfort level there when you kind of stepped into the events?
So I didn't really know what I was getting into. Joe had fished only a couple of tournaments. He went out, and one of the first tournaments he fished, he won. And so he was super excited, and he was ready to just jump in. And he kept telling me that I should come with him. Again, I had no idea what I was doing. I had actually never caught a fish in my kayak before. So I showed up to this tournament. We got a place, and we pre-fished. And during pre-fishing, I caught my very first fish in a kayak. So that's how much experience I had kayak fishing. And I didn't. He told me, make sure if you catch a fish, you put it on the board and practice, because I'd never done that. I was completely clueless as to what I was doing. And the next day, the weather had shifted. It was cold and windy, and I only made it about halfway through. And I'm like, this is horrible. I don't know why you would want to do this. This is how you spend this is your hobby? Like, are you serious?
The drug is in the tug.
So I got off the water and sat in the truck, and that was that.
Wow.
Thinking back, why did I go back to the next tournament? I couldn't give you an answer for that. I guess it was just the opportunity to get away for the weekend, and really it wasn't the tournament fishing. It wasn't anything to do with fishing. But I went back again. So I wasn't really getting into tournaments the way that I think most people are. They are watching the tournaments, they're seeing what's happening, they get intimidated. I didn't know what I was walking into. And I think for me, after like maybe 4 tournaments, I started getting a little embarrassed that I was this weird tag-along wife that was showing up. And I started feeling really out of place, just because I felt like people had to be judging me. I'd never caught any fish during the tournaments, and I didn't know what I was doing. And so
you showed them.
I kind of, at that point is when I think I went, okay, maybe I should put some effort into this and figure something out so I don't look so dumb.
Yeah.
And I did. And then I caught my very first fish in a tournament. I caught one. I was super excited. And then shortly after that, I caught a limit. And then it's just been going since. And to kind of touch on what Kayla said is you don't know if they want you there. And I feel that a lot of times, In the beginning, it's like I felt like a tag along. There's a hashtag in our group here lately, beat Holly C. I have an arch nemesis, so they've started a little bit of drama to make sure that they're beating me, because I think a lot of the men don't like it when the women show up and have success. But there's also a lot of supporters out there who absolutely love it and think it's great.
Yeah, that's great. And the thing though, Holly, is it's not against each other, it's against the fish. You're trying to see if you can put those fish in the boat, and then you compare results later. It's not like you're going out there and you're duking it out with somebody head to head, and in the end. And the other thing is, I'm going to tell you right now, women are better anglers than men to begin with. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Here's how I know, because I've guided enough couples over the years that the woman, or the wife, has always been one, doesn't have an ego. You didn't go out there with an ego. You went out there going, I just want to do well. I want to figure these right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
and then the guy goes, I go, hey, would you like some stuff to use? I got my own stuff. I'll be all right. Just show her how to fish.
Yep.
Okay. So
you take care of her. I
yeah.
got this.
So 10 minutes later, she's got a 5. Hey, honey, look what I got. And he's over there going, what? And then he's still not catching anything. And oh, look, I got another one. And pretty soon he comes over like a whoop pup with a tail between his legs and goes, okay, I'm ready. What do you got? That happens every time. And I've women are more patient than men. And I'm not trying to turn this into women versus men thing. I'm just saying that women are more patient and they don't have egos like guys do.
Yeah. For me, it's I fish very slow. Very slow.
Yeah, that's hard. That's all right.
For me, it's the patience.
Yeah. Then you'd be good at the Nico rig. I can tell you that right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, that's great. Now I will tell you guys, we had a young gal just out of high school. Tyler Alexander.
Yep.
So his daughter did the high school thing with us and all that, and we have 2 divisions in our catch all you can. We have intermediate and then advanced. She enters the intermediate. She gets like a second or third or whatever, two events, and her dad's out there with her. Everybody treated her really good. The final event, there's some hammers in this. She ends up second place overall and wins the AOI title in the intermediate division.
Wow.
And I mean, it was an incredible. She was fishing right by me, so I know, she was catching them. And she ends up second place overall. And then the first thing she says when she gets back in is, "Dad, when are we going again?" And in fact, she is going to the All-American, I believe, classic.
Oh, that would be cool.
And Jared Fosno, I think he's kind of helping them, get her accustomed to the lake and stuff. So isn't that cool how a guy like Jared Fosno, who's
he's a good guy.
To me, he's like the king of Missouri with, Chad's up. I mean, there's so many good anglers in Missouri. It's unreal. But Jared,
there's Steve Billington. There's
there is. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who else there was.
But Jared is one of the best.
He's and a very good human being.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal guy.
Have a guy like that, Holly, that takes a gal under his wing and goes, you know what? I'm going to help you when you come down here and we'll get you going. That you're going to meet guys like that. Don't worry. You're going to, if you haven't already, that say, hey, here's, you try this. That's why I help you. Or have you done, and Holly, the last tournament, I was at the national championship 3 weeks ago, and the final day, this is like, we had a day of a charity tournament after that, and it was still very competitive. And then I was with, is it Garrett Wade or what? Garrett Wade. You guys heard of him? He's 3-time AOI champion. Anyway,
yeah.
He was at the same ramp. He goes, hey, you want to go out and tag along tomorrow? I said, oh yeah, I do. I tagged along and I watched him fish. And to me, you have to have a beginner's mindset no matter your experience when you're out there. Oh, I lost her again. So, but I think that's key in what we're doing. What'd you say, Steve, or not?
No, I saw Trey's comment, so I was.
Oh, I didn't see it. What'd he say?
He's always down there saying something.
That's
what we did with Steve.
Oh, the show can start now. That's what we did with Steve. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. We lost Holly. Anyway. All right. So anything else you guys want to share? This has been a good time.
I'll answer your question. What are you most looking forward to? Because now I've had plenty of time to think about
it.
Dave had a good answer right away. I did not. Honestly, I think what I'm most looking forward to with Trash Panda decals is kind of what I've experienced over this year. I really, really enjoy the seeing especially newer people have success.
Yeah.
And the company has really given me this like intimate role in it in a way, just because I like him, I'm super accessible. Like if you want to talk to Trash Panda decals, you're gonna get me, and I answer everybody. And so I have anglers from all over the country that message me all the time. Like, man, look at this fish I caught, and it's their new PB, or they won the event on this, and it's right there, with my identifier. And I see younger people like Charlie getting in. So I'm looking forward to being a continued part of people's success, because I get to be a part of leaderboards all the time. And this coming year, I want to try and find somebody that's going to be new in Moyak this year, and then pay for their Moyak membership for the year. Somebody who's like a first year kind of person, and just keep supporting the anglers and just watching my products and stuff be a part of that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, it's kind of cool. Like there's a lot of people that know me. I have no idea who they are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden, people know who I am, and that's cool and weird all at the same time. I wish they'd all go subscribe to my YouTube channel, though.
There you go. Yeah. Remember, too, I'm up to you now, Steve, that the more you do for the fishing community, the more that will come back to you, and you don't have to expect it. That's what's cool about it.
Yeah, it's just a big family.
Yeah, and I just can't believe the things that have happened in like the kayak world, where people have done so much for others. It's phenomenal. The Charlie Sanders story.
Oh my God, that's the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah. That's the one of the. I don't know if you know about that, David, but yeah, you know about it, don't you? His kayak was wrecked.
His kayak getting wrecked down there, and
the community came through for him, and and then Malone Trailer stepping up and giving him a brand new trailer. I was there. I mean, I had no idea they'd done that, but that's something that Charlie's going to look back on, and he'll probably be one of those guys down the road that does it for somebody else, because of that. So anyway, guys, what a great thing you guys have done here tonight with all the information. If I was a young entrepreneur wanting to develop a product, I think I know who I'd go to right now. What do you?
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
There you go. Okay, that could be a meme.
Yeah. I mean, there's still room for more invention, right? I mean, it's amazing, right?
Every time you think something's tapped out, somebody comes along and does something. My dad still swears to this day that he came up with instant coffee tea bags and just never did it.
Wow.
I thought of that.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, is she back? Holly back?
She's backstage. I see her.
I better put her on there. There, you can have the whole show now, Holly.
Hey, look at that.
Oh, yay.
I'll put you up here. Anyway, thanks for being back, Holly. Holly, any closing remarks from you? Like, how can people get a hold of you? Thank people. What do you got for us?
Any social media. I'm always love chatting with anybody. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. TN Yak Girl everywhere. But yeah, I had a great time, and I love meeting new people in the kayak community. I think the kayak community is absolutely awesome, and I think if you have a wife that's even a little bit on the fence, take her out. She might eventually fall in love with it.
There you go.
She might be a better angler than you.
She might be.
Yep, you're right. Anything else, you guys?
Nope.
It's a good session, Marty. Yeah, thanks again for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, thank
you. And this will be on our podcast. And there's a whole nother community that out there on my kayak fishing intel side. There's a whole nother community there. And when this gets posted, they all listen later. A lot of them listen, like they don't see the video, they just listen to it.
Right.
Right. That happens a lot. And then it'll be on the YouTube channel as well for you if you want to share that with your friends or whatever. We do post a few clips here and there for you. But the main thing is, first of all, tonight is for Holly, you being on here, and as a kind of a younger, less experienced angler, you've got I would say you're look out. I'm gonna say look out, everybody.
100%.
And then you guys with your products, you guys. I mean, it's not a blueprint, but it is. You guys have shown what you can do with the skills and abilities that you have. And Steve, don't be saying anything downgrading yourself here because you're smarter than you give credit for. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
You got to set the bar low, man.
I know. But and then anyway, I appreciate you guys being on. It's been fun, and again, we're here to help the kayak community, and you guys doing a great job of that. And people are liking the show here too. So, with that, anything else?
No. If anybody has a hard time finding Holly's socials, go to trashpandadecals.com, and under our promo staff is her profile, and you can link to her there too.
Yeah, and anything you guys need, man, I'm here to help always. So you know that. Well, if I'm not subbing.
Yeah. Hey, Marty, just a quick question. I mean, these comments that we see here on our screen, are they going to be in the YouTube? Like, if we want to answer late,
no, they usually don't show up on the YouTube one.
They don't. Okay, so I just wanted. So somebody said something about an Old Town Predator. I think it just scrolled on by, and just so FYI, so I have an Old Water Big Water 132, so it's pretty much an identical boat. So if you want to see how it works on either regular wheels, balloon tires, there's something out there on YouTube. Or you can just give me a call and ask about it, right? So.
And they may not be on here. A lot of times, what I'll do is go back through and then I answer questions that way too.
That's what I do too. Yeah, on Facebook.
So you can do that.
Oh, is it? Will these be on Facebook?
Yeah, it's on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you pull up the video on Facebook, you'll be able to see all the comments, and you can go reply to them. Yeah. I do the same thing.
But this won't have comments on that part of it. But people do ask questions on YouTube afterwards though sometimes. So
right.
It depends. I mean, the thing is that that was Trevor Wagner out of Texas, David.
Right. Okay, Trevor. Thanks.
He's an educator as well. So
cool.
I just want these broadcasts have quite a bit of exposure for you. So
sure.
Yeah, it's a great platform.
Here's the thing, guys. When you go to a trade show, Holly, you'll learn this too. Someday you're doing stuff like this, whatever. When you go to a trade show, a lot of people are like, I didn't sell anything. No, you're not going to. But
it's not what you're there for.
You're creating contacts and developing friendships and a network for the future, and that's what it's all about. If you get caught up in the instant success part of it, forget it. It's not going to happen.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We try to tell people that, especially even on these podcasts. It might be 2 years from now, and some guy go, "Oh man, I got this product that I'm developing, and can you help me with that?" And that's what you never know what it's going to do. Yep. I mean, when I started kayak fishing, and I was the only guy out there doing it, and never saw anybody else, and pretty soon people started gravitating towards it, I wasn't getting made fun of anymore. They were like, "Hey, I want to try that too," and then it grew from there. And you've been there too, Steve, so you know.
Oh yeah.
But Holly, that's the same for you. You're going to have a lot of people reach out to you, and you know what? You're an educator, so you know how to do that.
That's right.
not that anybody else doesn't know, but that's kind of what it takes. And I've never subbed for library, but what would that be a tough job, or would it be no?
No, just reading books.
Okay, could I do a podcast while I was being a librarian?
No, you make too much noise.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise, a lot of talking.
A lot of noise, yeah.
I hear Miss Holly about 1,000 times a day. So that's partly why just being out on the kayak and not hearing Miss Holly for a little while is amazing.
If I heard Miss Holly all day, I don't think I'd have my AirPods in on the water either.
You know what I hear now is hey, the fishing guy's here. Who's he subbing for today? Because he tells good fishing stories.
There's that mean guy who touched our elf.
Yes.
Or I killed the elf. I killed the elf is what I did today. So
yes.
Anyway, that was funny. It was funny as heck. The teachers at lunch, I'm sure, had a good time over that one. But, all right, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you, guys. We're under 2 hours.
Hey, look at us go.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. All right.